Well, welcome back to the final round of the Qatar Masters Open, and we've got some fascinating developments on the top two boards. Let's go to the board two clash between Vladimir Akopian and Anish Giri. After G6, F6 was played. I mean, Simon, I've got to say that is one of the ugliest moves I've seen in the whole tournament.
I've seen a lot of ugly moves in my life, but that must be up there. I mean, Giri's material up. He's trying to survive the storm and win later on with his extra material, but it looks very ropey.
And we've got some more moves. It's gone Queen E6, obviously, and now it looks like a Swiss cheese around Black's king. Knight G5, hitting the Queen. The Queen's gone back. And H takes G6. Well, that looks a little bit better around Black's king, but still, I mean, what a horrible bishop. What a bizarre position. So we've got this bishop in the corner of the board. White's pieces look like they're set up beautifully. And, this bishop, there'll be a discovered attack. Well, should we look at some concrete variations?
Yeah, I think the only positive thing about Black's position is that the white knights, often in these sort of Sicilian positions, these white knights are on better squares, so they can, quickly come into D5. Saying that, White still has Knight B6, but...
Well, straight away, it's White's move. I wonder whether we can play Bishop D3.
D3 looks critical.
This is the obvious move, isn't it? Because we've got an attack on the bishop, and also looking at the G6 pawn.
Scary. Scary for Black. Yeah.
Do we really want to play a move like Rook H2? That leaves both pieces looking very wobbly.
I've even got moves like just simply Rook E1, but there's so many tempters here.
Okay.
So many tempting moves.
What are we going to start with Black? But this is tough. What a tough position.
I remember Bronstein, the legendary Bronstein, who a lot of people said his book, Chess Sorcery, something like this. It was a brilliant book.
Great book.
It was a great book. A lot of people, top players, said this is their favourite book of all time by Bronstein, and I had the honour. He came to Hastings a number of times. He gave a class to the English juniors there, and we could ask him questions. And he had this very interesting opinion about giving up the exchange and stuff, as White has done here. And he basically said, he was just very happy to give up the exchange at the start of the game, because the rooks, his philosophy was the rooks just don't play any part in the game until later on, but the minor pieces get into the game much quicker at the start. So Bronstein, when he was talking in his lecture, said, and I remember this, he just was always happy to give up the exchange, even if the computer would nowadays say -1, -2, because the minor pieces come flooding in quickly, and it's a very dangerous position.
Well, let me check this one out. What about Bishop D5? That's not a good move.
Yeah.
What I was trying to do, of course, was block on F7 with a bishop, but Knight B6 I've seen looks disgusting.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that. This is so uncomfortable for Black. Have we had a move from Akopian? Not yet.
It looks very natural. There's other options, of course, Knight B6, but
Knight B6 straight away, yeah.
We should also mention that we have a picture of the trophies for the three winners of this thing, and you have the trophy for the best Arabic player, which is the Dala. Hopefully you can see that there. A trophy for the winner of the tournament, which is the Wind Tower. I guess that's the one in the middle. And the trophy for the women is this lovely oyster shell there. So they're really, really cool trophies, aren't they? Something to treasure. Really nice trophies anyway. So they're the three kind of sections that people are fighting for.
And we should mention the cash as well.
I think I'd still take the cash.
$25,000 first prize in the main tournament.
Yeah.
5,000 I think for the best Arabic player, and 5,000 for the best scored by a woman in the tournament. So okay, we're looking at Bishop D3, but there are other moves. Knight B6 is possible.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of fun for White. Let's turn to see what's happened in the board one game between Yu Yangyi and Vladimir Kramnik. So Kramnik, of course, half a point ahead of Yangyi. If Yangyi wins, then he will win the tournament. And we've got big developments. As you can see on the board there, Vlad has gone for F5. So we got to about this position, And we were kind of toying with the idea of f5, but we weren't that convinced. But he's gone for it.
Yeah, I think he's taken a lot of risks today. I'm going to be honest. I mean, he's played b5, which strikes me as a strategical, risky move to play, and he's gone f5, and that's another strategical, risky move to play, in my opinion.
So I think last time I played knight b3, and I think we were trying f4. I took on b6 and then f3, and I'm sure that was fine. But maybe we can try another move here instead of f4. I wonder if you could. I think we should switch to the g file, king h8, and then put the queen on g7 to cover the e5 pawn and try to set stuff up on the g file. That's probably better. And I'd like to leave the f4 square available for the knight, actually. I mean, I think if we charge the f pawn forward, I think we've got to be certain that it's going to land.
Yeah. I mean, it looks dangerous as well for both sides, strategically for black, but tactically for white. So, in my opinion, Kramnik taking risks in this game. He's full of confidence. He must be full of confidence, and he's not. He didn't need to play these rather. Pawns don't move backwards. Once you've moved them forwards, they can't go backwards to cover the weaknesses. And it's a very risky way to play for Kramnik, but also a very brave way. I mean, he did mention he wanted to do a Cariana, 7 wins out of 7, and a draw wins in the tournament. But if he wins, he's done the Cariana. So
I think it was mentioned in some jest, because I think it cropped up because we said that after he defeated Anish Giri, we said, okay, you've stopped Anish doing a Caruana, and then he said, yeah, but I could still do a Caruana. But I think he would take a draw very quickly in this position. Sure. By the way, there is a rule, of course, no draw offers before move 30. We should stress that. Yeah. But I think we've got an exciting game on our hands.
Sometimes the best way to get a draw, we mentioned this earlier on in the tournament, when you're playing for a draw or a draw is a good result, a lot of people get fixated with that and they start playing much more passively than they'd like to play. But here, I think Kramnik's got the right attitude. He's taking risks and he's playing in an aggressive way, even though he would be happy with a draw. So he's willing to get a draw, but he's willing to get a draw by playing aggressive chess. So he hasn't changed his style. And if anything, I think he's playing more aggressively than he would normally, which is strange.
We should say that one of the boards where two players have 5.5 has already been agreed a draw. Perunovic against Moiseyenko, both 5.5. Apparently that's a draw already. Halakias Edouard was also a draw after 5 minutes. Now they were further down the tournament, so okay, I kind of understand that they want, if they have nothing particular to play for.
5.5, Danny. I mean, why?
A win would get them a big prize.
I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I mean, they're obviously a bit worried, but it shows a lot of fear. I mean, okay, let's think in even sensible terminology. Okay, 5.5. If you win, you probably get 4 or 5 times the prize you'd get if you draw. So if you play that game 4 times, you'd win 1 of them. So it's worth taking the risk because it will pay off. If it pays off 1 in 4, then it's worth taking the risk. So I think a draw is. I'm not happy about that. I'll be honest.
Adiban Ding. Let's move over to that one. Adiban against Ding. Hang on, let me find it. Apparently it's
looking very interesting.
Hotting up nicely.
Wow.
Well, we left the game around here, and e5 had just been played by black. Okay, we'll just cut to the position they've got on the board. Now, I would say white is better unless black is able to break through.
Yeah.
Sorry, let's just go. I managed to hit the wrong button there. Because, I like white's pawns. I love the bishop on g2 as well. Great piece. But Adiban playing really aggressively. I think he's playing it right. Right or wrong, I think he had to do something to change the nature of the game. So he's ditched the piece. Where does that king go?
King c3 has been played.
Okay. Well, it's quite important actually that black can't play the rook to c8 because we've got to check on e7. Yeah. So just for a moment, white's king is, I think, just about okay. What do we do? Take on a3?
Yeah, I mean, it's doesn't strike me as great compensation at the moment.
King b4. Oh no, then there's knight c2
Knight
check.
C2.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's something.
well, it's very enterprising play by Adiban.
How about knight
extremely.
b6?
Knight b6 covers c8, so that,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
seems like a very sensible option, definitely.
I think I still prefer white here.
I still prefer white as well. White's pieces control a number of key squares, which I think is very important.
Do we have alternatives after king c3?
It's a pity, yeah. Rook c8 is the move you certainly, you want to play. You can't do it though. You just can't play it in this position. I mean, you can go b5, and try to take on a3 with a rook, but it's a bit slow. You are a piece down, so you kind of want to play with a little bit of urgency, I'd say. I think I like white,
Yeah, I think I prefer b5.
He's gone knight takes a3, by the way.
Oh, really?
He has played knight takes a3. Just this at least keeps the check on b5 possible, check on c8 possible.
Yeah, but
knight b6 was key, wasn't it?
this would concern me.
Okay, what about knight b5?
King b4.
And then rook a3. Let's just keep. I mean, I think I'm going to run out of ideas soon. I mean, just knight c5.
Knight c5,
and,
yeah.
Those knights just cover everything.
Maybe after knight b6. Let's just see that again. What about rook a6?
That's a much better move, yeah. Trying to get a piece to c8 or somewhere like this.
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting still, yeah. I mean, it requires.
I don't think I believe this, but okay.
Yeah.
Black is rolling on. Maybe not so bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Can we have a look at quickly at Salem's game?
Yeah.
And because Salem is the leading Arabic player, and they do have a prize for the leading Arabic player here, and I expect he deserves to win the $5,000 on offer. So let's just get up to date with Salem's position, and he's playing the very strong player Bu from China. So it's not going to be an easy game for him, but he sort of has been playing so well recently.
Well, let's just go from this position.
Yeah, sure.
So Salem has just played pawn to b5, which looks healthy, trying to break down this pawn on c4. I like the bishop, but that's a beautiful knight. I suppose white is a bit better here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks to me like white has a nice hold on d5 square. I mean, black can again dream of doing a Kramnik here and pushing Freddie up the board to try to create some play. Maybe black can try to even close down the position with b4 if he gets a chance to secure his bishop on the
Okay,
square.
well let's whip it off. Let's take it.
So I have to go rook takes then.
Because the rook looks slightly funny for a move.
We also had some breaking news that Vok crushed Lenderman already. That's a bad day for Lenderman. Maybe he doesn't like these morning games, Maybe he's up all night partying.
Well, we said morning games.
Yeah.
I mean, the round did actually start at 12 noon here in Qatar.
That's a morning for every chess player in the world, I'm sure. So, but yeah, I mean, maybe we should look at that game because
okay, let's have a look.
That was a crushing game, and I know there's a lot of Lenderman supporters out there, being from America. But let's see if we can find that game.
Let's go from the top, and it was this variation which we were discussing earlier in the French Tarrasch, and here
this is why I gave up the French.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is also fine. Knight f6 is quite a good move here, actually. That's quite a reasonable move, but knight c6 is also fine.
20 moves.
Now he took with the pawn. There is nothing wrong with taking the bishop here. This is perfectly acceptable for black.
Try to get rid of your bad French bishop. I mean, it's not so bad here, but
this is also fine, in my experience.
Yeah.
I haven't actually played this, I have to say, with black, but I've seen quite a few games. It's also, now he took on e4. I'm not sure about that one.
Gives up a very nice pawn. I like your triangle of pawns in the centre here. I mean, this is actually like a Sicilian, some variation Sicilian. I always like this triangle, for some reason. As soon as you get that triangle,
why not?
You
Centre pawns.
Yeah, centre pawns.
My big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, knight e7 I would say is normal here, but okay, Lenderman's taken. Okay, it means he's brought his knight to f6, but white's pieces look very nice. I mean, it's lovely to have the queen already on h4, you know, in combination with these pieces. But let's have a look. Ah, this is his plan. He's keeping his king in the middle. Well, that is brave.
Foolhardy or brave, one of the two. There's a fine line, isn't there, in chess?
Well, again, I would take white every time here.
Yeah.
This looks like a lot of fun. I mean, you've got a ready-made attack against the king. G5. Oh, really? Really? Okay, now I'm very suspicious. Oh, well, Lenderman just must have overlooked something in his calculations, but...
E5 looks very weakening here. I mean, the e-pawn is one of the stability of black's position. You know, it's well defended on e6 with the f-pawn. As soon as you move that, something's gone wrong, hasn't it? Clearly.
Okay, what
this is the tactic he missed.
Okay, that's what he missed.
And if you take the queen,
we should have a look.
Oh, that's lovely, lovely, lovely combination here. You take on d7 with a knight, I think, and this is quite a beautiful combination. King has to go to d8. Bishop takes f6 check. Let's say king c8, and now knight takes c5 check. Phenomenal combination.
Very nice.
Really, very Tao-like. Yeah.
So let's go.
Yeah.
So this was the game: bishop f5 and queen h4, and
Poor Lenderman.
he threw the towel in there. I suppose simple threat to give a discovered check. And what happens on bishop e6? What's the easiest way to do this? Let me see. Knight g6. Knight g6. That's the move. So after take, we can take here, and well, the bishop's dropping, and something else will drop as well. That's horrendous. I think knight g6 is the cleanest way to do it, because f6 is hanging as well, and as well as this one. Yeah. So that's why he resigned. I think understandable.
We talked about the Kramnik game, and we sort of poo-pooed the idea of f5, f4. Said it was a bad idea. Well, this is what Kramnik's played.
Really? Okay. Well, let's go to it. Let's go straight to it.
We have a photo and a tweet as well concerning Kramnik here, which I'm sure we can pull up for you. And there we go. That's a nice. Okay, so we've had this theme going on throughout the tournament, and Kramnik, in a number of rounds, has been looking at his opponent's name badge to see who he's playing. And here, his opponent gets there first. Not really sure who this guy Kramnik is. Who's Kramnik? I've never heard of this guy before.
And certainly not sure how to spell it.
Yeah, some Russian guy, I'm not sure about this guy, is checking out who he's playing before the game and looking at Kramnik's name badge. Do you think he knows who Kramnik is? Do you think he knows he was an ex-world champion?
I think he does. Well, there is, of course, a big difference between Chinese and Western orthography, so I think this is the difference.
But so. I mean, this is intriguing. He's gone f4.
But yeah, it's a cheeky photo. It's nice.
It's nice. This has been one of the themes, hasn't it, for this Open? So f4's been played.
Yeah, but we looked at f4. And Valdemar Moose says it seems you has a double attack now with queen c3.
Yeah, I mean, isn't e5 or c6 dropping? I mean, I don't understand.
Well, before we were looking at knight b3
queen c6
and f4.
Queen c3.
But queen c3, f4. Okay, let's take a look. Takes.
I'm getting worried for Kramnik here. I'm certainly getting worried in this position. I mean, you just simply take on c6.
Okay, now how am I going to recapture here?
I don't understand this at all. Either way, I get queen takes c6 probably, and knight c3, maybe. I mean, this looks.
Yeah, well, the f3 stuff coming. So let's just take a look at this very carefully. Now I'm just going to decide which way I'm going to recapture here.
Don't you think with a c pawn too? I don't know. Okay,
let's try. Now you want to play queen c6.
Maybe knight takes is interesting, but queen takes looks perfectly playable as well, and putting the knight on c3. You've got knight d4 at the end, but it just seems the black king is very, very exposed here. So
okay, and what if I play, let's keep the queens on the board, and I'll play queen e7, or which one? f7. Queen e7. I'll play queen e7. So the knight is attacked, so I guess it goes back to b3. Now in this position I've actually got rook c8, and then taking the pawn here. So maybe this isn't the best way.
I can take on b5, take on e5.
Oh.
I mean, just take everything.
Well, yeah, it's black's move.
If you go rook c8, I will take on b5 though.
Yeah,
and
F3 stuff. Okay, let's
put
do
the
this.
hoodie on. You has gone hoodie style now, ghetto style.
He's taken on, you has taken on b6, but what about F3 here? I'm not sure this is so clear. Because suddenly I can throw the boys in to the attack.
It's a really all-in approach from Kramnik.
Completely.
I mean, I just, don't you feel there's something a bit suspicious?
Oh,
about
very,
this
very.
play?
But let's just go back and
Yeah.
try and have another look at this.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this might be a better way to do it. Let's consider it.
'Cause
My
you can
idea
cover
is
F3.
the point is that after rook c8 I can play knight e5.
Then
and
queen d6 maybe here,
I'm hoping I can jam out of this.
or queen d5, one of these two squares. Let's
Yeah.
like d5 is more central.
Okay, and now queen b3. Here's my little trick. So after queen takes, I've got. Oh, I beg your pardon. That was a mouse slip. I meant rook e1, of course. And I take the
you're
knight.
doing well here. So
But let's just check that, because that all happened very quickly, and even I'm suspicious of that. Yeah, but queen d6. And if queen b3, then oh no, knight d4 is illegal. That helps.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this basically could go completely wrong for Kramnik. I'm kind of feeling like he's living on the edge here, and we could have this guy could clear up the tournament. I mean, Kramnik's done a lot of hard work to get to this situation, but I'm really.
It's unbelievable
about his position.
if Yu Yang Yi snuck through at the end. Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Chinese are clearing up a lot of tournaments at the moment.
To me,
and,
Kramnik does not look like a happy bunny.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, he's been away from the board a lot as well. I mean, I just feel that this. Yeah, I mean, I'm really worried about Kramnik's game here. I mean, you had a great victory against Giri yesterday. If he can beat Kramnik today as well, and his position looks good to me. Of course, there's always some tricks against White's king, but I think at this level of chess, these ideas of going F3 and stuff like this can be easily stopped. And the thing with you as well, he's an amazing calculator. We saw how he got Giri yesterday with some beautiful tactics and techniques. And here, well, I just think this is very tough. I mean, let's come back to this game a bit later and just dive over to. Okay.
I just want to say that Yu Yang Yi's performance rating in this tournament is 28.67. So he might be only on 6.5 out of 8. So he's just in second position at the moment. But you know, he's had a really strong field. 28.67 his performance rating. Right, Simon, where do we want to go to now?
Well, I think board 2 is a couple of more moves there, and that's the other critical game for second place in the tournament. So we have Akobian versus Giri, and this looked very dangerous for Giri, the position. And it was similar to what we said, but it seems like Akobian has played a very useful move in the position first. And it's kind of position I think humans would always enjoy playing with white. Maybe computers can defend with black, but it's not easy. I mean, knight b6, logical move, trying to bring the knight around. And okay, rook a7 and just bishop d3 as we said, Danny. So it looks dangerous. It looks very dangerous to me for black. Taking on g6, rook bishop on pre. Black king is still stuck in the centre. Can he defend this position? You can see a picture of the two players there. And Akobian is quite short of time here. Not surprising. They must be nervous. I mean, we've got to talk about nerves in the last round when they're playing for so much money. I mean, there's so much money at stake and everything else, so the nerves will get to some of these players without a doubt. How does black defend? Bishop takes g6. I mean, does he just have to try to hold on to the material here? Somehow, I don't know, by moving the bishops to some square. I don't even know what the right square is. Bishop c6, should we try this? I mean, it looks suspicious.
Let's do it. I mean, it's loose there, of course.
Very loose. The knight a5s as well. So
okay, let's whip it off. Bishop g6.
And now I guess the king goes f8. Looks safer. I say safer. I say that very cautiously.
Yeah.
Very cautiously. It doesn't look safe to me anywhere, but it's
well, let's do it.
Safer.
Needs must.
But can I even go queen take? I can nearly go queen takes knight.
Oh.
I can't, but I can nearly play it.
Yeah, but
you know,
we
these
could be-
ideas are rolling, aren't they? So
absolutely. I
even
mean,
rook f1. I mean,
knight a5 springs to mind here.
you know, knight d5 just tries to win back a bit of material. I mean, I don't want to be materialistic about this position. I want to checkmate black. So I want to play rook f1. I just want to play rook f1, threatening the simple queen takes g5.
Sorry, I miss.
I mean, get another piece in the attack. It wasn't doing much on d1 anymore. Queen takes g5. Okay, well, a move has been played. He's gone rook takes h2. Okay, I think he probably has to play his active defence his best. And
but that, I mean, both pieces now really loose. That rook
certainly
is it's unsupported here.
Yeah.
I think he wants to nudge it back to h3 as quickly as possible, but wow, that is such a risky move.
I mean, let's have a look at bishop takes g6. It's got to be the main move. I just don't like putting the king on the d file because we have something to c5. I mean, king d8, surely something to d5. c5 must happen.
Yeah, I'll put it on f8.
I think it has to go there. And then here, and I mean, again, we're not going to go for computer moves here. I'm intrigued in this type of position. Are you intrigued in the valuation? Do you think the evaluation is in favour of black here still?
I'm not sure, but for me it's pretty irrelevant because it's all about the initiative.
It's all about humans as well.
Yeah,
we've got
two humans playing. So I really don't want to know what the computer thinks about this position. They're rather good at defending, but a lot better than humans are. So,
okay, there's a number again of moves here, but what is the right way to play this position? Maybe black is. Maybe black is getting his. If his king gets to h8, you know, if the black king can wander somewhere to h8, then it's kind of reasonably safe because the rook is defending any tricks on this file. And I think Geary's putting up active defence. The knight on g5, great defensive piece. Really, that was a really good defensive move from Geary. It stops the queen coming into e6. It defends some critical squares. So,
well, I have to say, I mean, I can't see a clear way through for white at the moment.
No, there's not a clear way through, I don't think.
You know, we were sort of toying with the ideas of knight somewhere. Let's say knight c4.
I like to play knights.
But then the rook. Okay, rook moves. Let's say.
Can I also try a cowboy move?
I play here a cowboy move.
A cowboy move,
whatever that is.
I'm not sure. It's an insane move that you only play if you're a crazy guy. Let's just try a cowboy move.
Okay.
I'm just going to try some craziness. Knight c5.
So I suppose I take it.
Bishop takes c5.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
First of all, I have to work out what the threat is. That's my first task as black.
I think knight d7 or rook d7 is my idea, but I think you might get a back rank me.
Well, then that gives me a clue. So if I play the bishop back to c6 to cover the d7
knight
square.
d7. No, you take the rook.
I take the rook. Yes.
Okay, you've blown. Okay, not
and
knight d7.
We've got to point it out because that's where rook h2 actually comes into play because I think this is what Geary is looking to do.
Good active defence. So you can't play this. I mean, okay, I'm believing knight c5 is one step too far, but it's the kind of move that you have to analyse when you're attacking because you have to play these positions with energy.
Suddenly the clock time's going the other way, Akopian down to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
And Geary has 45 minutes. I mean, it'd be very interesting to know whether Geary had prepped this. Can we go to board 1? Because I can see that Vlad has
played a move?
Played c takes b6. Let's go there.
So this is all according to plan. And this is the encounter to decide the champion of the first ever Qatar Masters. So this is the massive game. Who's going to take home the $25,000? That'd be a nice paycheck.
That'll be very good. Now, Yang Yi has a choice.
It's nearly what you get doing the commentary, isn't it?
He has a choice. How is he going to take that pawn on c6? So we've got knight c6, and we've got queen. Whoops, that's not right. We've got knight c6, or we've got queen c6. So let's check out knight c6 first.
Yeah, okay, he's got to generate here, hasn't he? I mean, the problem with black's position at e5 is crumbling as well. So, you know, how does black generate? I don't see how he does. And if rook c8, you just simply do this nice tactic you had, yeah? Of taking on e5. It's a really nice idea.
Rook c8, I think, I think knight e5 is okay for white. It's kind of, it's on the edge.
It's on the edge.
But I think it's all right. And the point is this, that after queen d5, so the queen has to, well, leave protecting the knight on e5, and then I think this is playable. Because if queen takes, then rook e1. Let's just go back, because in that position, I wonder, how's the endgame? And what's the score? What's the score first?
It's 2 pawns down for black.
2 pawns down.
I love the B file. That's what we call that's like
it's a busy B file.
That's a car journey on the M25 around London.
Yeah.
On a Friday afternoon.
It's a big traffic jam.
It's a massive traffic jam. If you could just move the A pawn 1 to the right, that must be a record. That must be a world record. You can't get more pawns on a file than that.
But I'm just wondering if, I mean, white is 2 pawns up, but it's a terrible pawn structure. So
I'm just looking at the B pawns. I can't look anywhere else at the moment. I'm sorry, it's just amazed me.
But I'm wondering if black can actually survive this one. So if I start with rook c7, so I want to just put the knight on d4.
Put the knight on the square, yeah. Should we go rook c?
Well, rook c1, I guess I'm going to play rook c8 anyway.
And this.
So trade. I mean, maybe white benefits from that.
I'm not sure.
And now knight f3.
Knight f3 looks like a nice idea
to stop knight d4.
But you can go. Can you go rook c2? I mean, and just try to take the traffic jam pawns. This reminds me, you know, when I was stuck in traffic jam on the M25, I wish I had a tank and I could just go over the cars in front. Maybe that's what the black rook's about to do here. I
mean, 2 pawns is a lot, but those are pretty rotten pawns. I mean, who knows? You know, Vlad is scrambling, basically. Let's go back. So that's knight c6. The other idea I had, instead of rook c8, was just to go all in with f3.
Yeah. Well, let's give that a go. Okay.
And if knight e5, obviously the queen's tapped, so we dive over. I'm hoping
threatening mates here.
Yeah.
So even knight takes f3.
You can play knight f3. Because you get the queen exchange in first.
Do you think Kramnik's collapsed a bit in this game? I mean,
it's just,
I don't want to say it. Maybe the nerves. It never strikes me like Kramnik is a nervous player. He just doesn't seem. He seems to be one of the coolest customers around. But
okay, what about queen d5? I'm going to keep on hacking here.
I can try this queen b3 again. Can I possibly? Let's try queen b3 again.
I tell you what, that's an even more rotten pawn structure, because now I take on g2.
Yeah.
And that. Okay, what's the score there? Is it still 2 pawns?
Still
but that is
pawns,
possibly the worst pawn structure I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that.
Certainly, yeah.
I would say black has some chances to survive that.
Sure, some chances, yeah, definitely. I think it's really. I think Kramnik's nervous. I think with correct play, White is doing incredibly well in this game. This means, if we look at the standings very quickly, if anyone who's joined the show late, we can just bring them up. The standings. This is why this is such a key game. This is the board 1 encounter, and anyone who wrote off the young Chinese player Yu, well, you can probably eat your words now, because Yu is White against Kramnik. If he wins, he takes home all the glory. He takes home first prize, and this is an amazing. Could be an amazing result for him, but a really interesting game on board 1. Yu versus Kramnik. It decides the tournament. So
do you think after knight c6 is that a bit of a cowboy move against Simon?
This cowboy move? I'm thinking of cowboy like Wild West. Oh, there we go, some cowboy chess pieces. Brilliant.
Our producer has excelled himself today. Well done.
Well done there, producer. You've done well there. But I mean by cowboy move, it just reminds me of the Wild West. They just don't care. They go all in with their guns blazing.
But this is not so clear, because in that variation here. Well, one thing, the ending is, I think, possibly tenable for black. Yeah. But if g3, then I want to play knight d4.
Right, and it gets dangerous.
And suddenly, we can sit that knight on e2, And well, in fact, there's something desperate going on here because the knight is on.
Yeah.
So f3 is, keeps things rolling.
Possible.
Maybe g3. But look, we've lined up already.
It's all tricks.
Lots of tricks.
All cowboy tricks.
What do? We can play rook c8. We could play knight d4. We could play knight f4.
Knight d4. Okay, knight d4 is key because the point is, I was originally thinking I could take here, and then
I think we go in like Flynn.
Well, you go here. Then I was thinking about this move, but then I missed knight e2, but also knight f3 needs to mate. So knight
apart
d4,
from that, it's a great idea.
So it failed for a number of reasons. I mean, okay, knight c6 has been played. So
this is game on because this is getting very, very sharp. It's make or break for Vlad.
Yeah,
he could be. He's at the moment 1 pawn down. Is it or is it 2? No, it's only 1 at the moment. But it could be 2.
Yeah.
So basically, we've got 2 candidate moves here. We're looking at the classic f-pawn punt, or we're looking at rook c8.
It looks like f3 is the most dangerous so far. I mean,
you could also go rook, the other rook over to c8 in case you want to hold the a-pawn. I don't know if that's significant. That could be possible in some variations. Let me try this time. I'll try rook fc8 and see if that makes any difference.
Okay, well let's take on e5 again.
Yep. And
only move I think taken on e5 anyway. So hang a minute.
I could take on c3. Go on.
Instead of this move, I don't think it works, but I just had a thought. I just had some strange thought.
You want to play knight e7?
Takes a7. And the idea is, okay, first of all, if you take here, then I go queen takes c6, and I win like this. Okay, I don't think this works, but it's just a strange.
Okay, but
and if rook takes a7,
knight e7.
My idea is knight e7.
Yeah,
but then
I can just
take and your piece up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apart from that,
I like. You gotta look at these crazy moves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's highly tactical. I think knight e5 is the only move here.
Yeah, looks like the only possibility.
Okay, and now I was looking before at queen d5. Just one little thing, I could take this. This time the rook isn't attacked on f8, but there is a little trick here with knight b6. I think this is the problem. Yeah. And it's obviously better for white, so we'll avoid that.
Yeah.
So let me go queen d5 again. So once more the queen is attacked. I think there's only one move.
I've got knight g4 here sometimes. I just saw this
interesting.
Knight g4 as well. Just to looking at other possibilities, and because now your rook doesn't cover f6. I don't know if this helps but I take on b6 again, similar line to last time.
Yeah.
If you take on c3, I check. Take on d5.
Do I have? No. Yeah. I was going to say knight d4. Knight f6 is obviously. So that's. I think that might be important actually. I think that looks like a good option.
Ideas. Kind of potentially saves the.
Unless is queen g5 a move? I mean, this is getting mad, isn't it? What a last round game!
Yeah,
I mean, this is
crazy.
So we got 2 pieces on prise here.
Yeah.
This one rather. Knight f6. I've got king f7, and queen e5. I take on g4.
I don't know. I mean, knight f6 check and then knight e4 might work. Knight f6 check.
Right.
And I go knight e4.
Right. And, taking with check.
I take with check.
Very important.
And I've got knight d6. This might be collapsing now for black.
Our producer is wondering, how do we rate Vlad when he's under pressure? Well, I've seen him under pressure in
he's a world champion.
many games, and he copes well under pressure, I have to say.
Certainly
I mean, he's a cool customer. Yeah. You only have to think back to, well, he's been playing the top players for decades now, and you only have to think back to his games, not just in the World Championship match, but any of his games against Kasparov, where he was under severe pressure. And he is very, very solid. And his nerves hold out very well,
when
actually.
You say solid, this is anything but solid here.
Yeah, but what I mean is, if there's a defence in the position...
Yeah, he'll find it. Yeah, he's a cool customer.
But knight g4, this is a very...
Oh, the cowboy move! Oh yeah, bang!
Has he played f3?
Ride him, cowboy! He's got knight c5. Sorry, Nakobian. He's played the magical.
Oh, hang on. Okay. Well,
Sorry.
all right. We'll get there. We'll get there in a second. Hold your horses. I want to concentrate still on board one.
Okay.
We'll come back to that, but let me just check this one. So knight e4 does look like it's should be saving. Okay. So this is in this line. This was with rook fc8. But as I said, there are two moves here. Seems to me you can punt. So maybe rook fc8 not so good, but you could play rook ac8 or f3.
F3, we didn't really find a resource to F3. Yeah, he's played a move. What's he played? Okay, this is going to be interesting. Kramnik has played a move here. It does not look like F3 to me. It does not look like rook c8. What on earth has he played then? Okay, what has he played here? Okay, we've got to wait and see because Kramnik has played a move. There's a slight delay on the relay. Predictions? Anyone got a prediction here?
Queen d6.
Queen d6, very calm, has been played.
So of course we suggested three moves, and he
was
found
the
a
fourth
fourth.
move. Yeah, the fourth move. So Queen d6.
Okay, first things to note: Queen e5. We can take this. We've always got to look at the captures in the position. So knight e5. Now knight d4 springs to mind.
I think that must be critical. Knight
and
d4. Yeah.
We're threatening this one and the knight. But what about rook e1?
And now maybe f3 is the point. Do you think? Because now, or rook c8.
Rook c8.
Rook c8. Rook c8.
Sorry,
these guys are good, aren't they? They are just good. I mean,
just a moment. So queen here, and well, minimum we've got knight c2.
Minimum, yeah. I mean,
but rook c2
this
may
knight
be
of
okay.
d4 dominates, yeah. So what?
Right, let's go back. So queen d6. What else has he got?
It's a bit early for this.
How about rook e1?
Okay, rook e1.
Let's try this one.
So
my idea is I want to
yeah.
take with the queen on e5 and then the knight is on prise.
So if rook c8, queen takes e5, and of course the white's going to be
exactly.
Really,
so rook
really
c8,
trying to swap off
queen c5, and the but then I take on c6 with a rook.
Okay.
Wow. So queen d6, really interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's, actually, you know, one of the players.
That's the position on the board. Sorry. Go on.
That's right. Yeah, one of the players who surprised me the most with his moves is actually Kramnik, and I find it very hard to predict Kramnik's moves. I find it very easy to predict these moves, which we're going to have a look at now because I want to see this cowboy knight c5. Let's go to board 2. Okay, I was just getting excited about this, and you've got to let me get excited. I sort of very vaguely said in these positions, thinking like Macau Tao, you don't go backwards. Has White even played one backwards move? I don't think so. So you've got to go forwards, knight c5. I love it. I love it.
Game on, ladies and gentlemen.
Definitely.
Okay, first things first, I'm going to whip it off.
Okay, so let's try this. This did look very dangerous last time I looked at this, and it's a whole rook, but let's go bishop takes c5.
Now, last time I was coming back swiftly with the bishop to c6.
Yeah.
So, well, let me try it again. I'm covering the d7 square. Now, can I get it? That's right. Last time we had this.
I tried something a bit crazy.
And and there was a back rank problem.
Okay, but here it just seems like that. It feels to me that there's something here. Queen F is Queen F4. Come on, Queen just.
Queen F4. Let's have a look. The rook slams down and it's mate. Queen F4.
I love these positions, Danny.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's all kicking off in this game. Okay, what about rook b7? Let me cover.
Maybe queen takes h2.
Queen h2. He's back in business. Here we go. Rook d8. Slam.
Oof. It's a slam dunk in the back of the net.
Fantastic. So if we go back to this one, Queen f4. This is his idea. That's clear.
Queen F. I mean,
that's great. So
this is my kind of chess.
We did say the rook was
my
loose.
kind of chess. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back. Go back. So I think we've discovered what the threat is.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, this is a nice idea.
Beautiful.
Very nice idea. Very nice idea. There was some potential strong. Okay, well, what does Black do to defend this? What does Black do?
What a shocker.
What does Black do here?
Okay,
well, Black needs to find something. Okay, this is an amazing idea.
Well, what happens if I play bishop c5?
Okay, where's the hit? Where's it?
Maybe I play knight d7 first. I don't know. Let's take it with check.
Yeah, have to go king g8. And again, the back rank is
very weak.
I've got knight c8.
Ooh, knight c8 could be good. Threatening the rook. And also threatening the slam dunk on rook d8 with rook d8. Oh yes, we love it.
Love it.
Very good.
Yeah.
White is set up perfectly here.
Yeah.
All the pieces playing. They're all playing their part.
They are indeed. Well, this is certainly rock and roll chess.
Well, look at this. I mean, black's pieces scattered in the 4 corners. Well, only 3 corners actually. He hasn't quite got to b1. That's quite important.
Yeah.
But yeah, look. Black's pieces just thrown to the 3 corners of the board, and just white exploiting that beautifully. Yeah. Let's go back. So knight c5. Let's have a look at Geary. How's he looking?
Confused. Yeah, I don't know. It's so hard to tell with Geary. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is such a great last round game. Whatever the result. I mean, we had this quick draw from 2 other players. This is the way to play chess. This is the way things should be in life. And that queen f4 was simply a very nice idea.
Did you see Geary raising his eyebrows there, going kind of? It was almost going. Oh, blimey!
You can play chess.
Yeah.
You can play chess. Maybe he's just checking it wasn't Tao sitting opposite him.
Let's go back to Kramnik because we have big developments there as well. Here we go.
Back to the board one.
And Yang Yi played rook takes a7.
Yeah.
And it's gone rook a7, knight a7. First of all, let's just go back and check out that one.
It's horrible.
Yeah, I'm guessing rook c8 would be met by knight e7. So yeah, that wins. Because queen takes, we have, for example, queen takes rook here,
move,
and white is obviously winning that one. So after rook a7, it's gone rook a7, knight a7, and now Kramnik is having a think here. Let's just take a body count. Kramnik's 2 pawns down. 2 pawns down.
2 big pawns as well. I mean, we talked about Kramnik being really cool, but this Chinese guy, he's 20 years old. If that was me, you see how excited I get after moves like knight c5. I'd probably be bouncing up and down now like a.
Let's try and get some comp. Let's get some comp. Okay. Now I'm looking at that knight stuck in the corner. Can I keep it there? I play knight d4.
Yeah.
I'm covering these squares, so the knight can't get out for a moment, but the knight.
Knight takes b5.
Bounces in.
Knight takes b5.
Knight b5. Oh, that's.
And you can go knight.
That is a huge move.
That's a huge move.
Okay, first of all, if this, then we got to check.
Yeah.
And yeah, nice touch.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah.
And the king goes in the corner. Knight takes queen. Knight takes queen on d6. Unbelievable.
They're all working. All the tactics are working.
I wonder, is that what Vlad missed? Very easy move to overlook.
I think he just missed this move, and I think he's realised this now. And you know what? I don't think we could get into the commentary room today.
Okay, let's see. What alternatives does he have?
Yeah.
He can go all in with f3, but it doesn't look great. Come on, let's go all in.
Okay, you got to. When the chips are down, when it reminds me of Cypress Hill song, but I can't say the lyrics here because I'd be in trouble. Right, knight takes b5. Knight takes b5. Let's get it going.
Let's get it on.
Yeah.
Vlad has played f3. Vlad is going all in.
He's got to. Well, okay, that's the 3rd pawn though. Knight takes b5. 3 pawns. 3 pawns. I mean,
but also, I don't like the fact that Black's king is exposed because there's so many variations. We're going to get a queen exchange. For example, queen d5. Well, we just start the Hoover.
Hoover job.
Hoover, exactly. Queen c4. All these pins. I mean, that looks disgusting. So what does he play? Queen e7? Queen d7? I don't know. Queen d. Let's try queen d7. At least it hits the knight.
I just don't think this is working.
Queen e5.
Queen e5. It's just not working, is it?
Okay, so we go all in. Knight f4. Let's give it a punt.
The black king now is too exposed, isn't it? It just can't work. These tactics just can't work in this type of position because the black king is going to be hit in a number of ways.
Okay, but what does white play here? What does white play? It's not over. It's not over.
Okay.
Because if g3, I think I can go in with queen f3.
I was kind of wondering if I should take another pawn, but no, I shouldn't. I should not take another pawn.
Which one?
No.
On f3?
No. I'm not even going to. we're not touching that pawn. That pawn is untouchable.
As they say in the Netherlands, you crazy guy.
Don't they say? I can't say.
You crazy guy.
Crazy guy. No, what?
Crazy. That's
Are
crazy.
we going to see some? Can we see? I'd love to hear some.
Peter's confused about that.
Okay. I'd love to hear some of your. You've done some great accents.
No.
I know you don't do it in front of the camera, but behind the camera, your accents are phenomenal.
Peter, our Dutch producer, says we say gezellig a lot. Gezellig. Oh, okay.
Well, you have problems with your throat a lot.
Groningen, gezellig in Groningen.
So, good pronunciation.
Oh, I've been given a pat on the back.
Okay, good stuff.
Thank you, Peter. Anyway, listen, knight f4. Climate is going all in.
Yeah.
And now look, you was looking at the board, and he's kind of scrunched up his face. This is a big moment for him.
No wonder he's leaving the board a lot. He's got so much water there. He must be going to the toilet every 5 minutes. I mean, look at them. He's lining up the water. So
It's often that's an issue. You know, it's a big issue. So that is the position. 15 moves to make. He's got. Let's check out the clock times. He's got 23 minutes. Counting down, he's got 22 and a half minutes. Apparently, we've been told the clock times are accurate. 22 and a half minutes for 15 moves in this sharp position in this absolutely critical game for the tournament.
Absolutely key. I mean, okay. I mean, I know this game is just so fascinating, and with no moves on board two, do you reckon we can have a look at Salem's game?
Salem's game, okay.
Yeah, because Salem, I mean, you know, he's played so well here.
Yeah.
And it does look like there's an interesting moment arising in the position. And Salem, it'd be great for him to finish with a win. He's just been invited to the Wake and Z, which is great because he deserves it. He deserves these invites now. He's proven his.
Wake and Z. Wake and Z.
Wake and Z.
Wake and Z.
Wake and Z.
Wake and Z. Or something like that.
Wake and Z. Okay, Wake and Z. So he's been. You had never been either, have you, Danny? Is that right?
No, I've never been to Wake and Z. No. I tell you why, because it would always clash with the German Bundesliga.
Okay.
And I played Bundesliga for a decade and a half. Okay, King G1. That's just played.
Yeah. I was just wondering if there's, we know how good Salem is.
Oh, this is nice.
Exactly, his tactical ability is pretty amazing. Is there any way?
Queen E4. What? Let's.
Oh, something like Queen E4.
Let's put it in there and ask a question.
Yeah, put it in where? E4. Put it in E4.
Put it in. Rook E1.
Rook E1. It just looks dangerous, doesn't it? Still, this position for somehow.
If Rook E1, then F2's a little bit tender.
It is tender.
If I can put it like that. Tenderloin.
But what else? I mean, knight takes E2 is. You don't want to take on D4 with the bishop, I don't think, do you? Because maybe you have to, but then it should be fine.
If we take here, then suddenly I think
Rook takes.
This could be a lot of fun.
Maybe it's okay because the knight on A4 is quite stabilised there. So maybe.
Yeah, but where's the queen go here? I think it's not so easy.
Can I whip off on A5? Whip it off? Snap it off? Maybe.
Take on. I'll tell you what you do.
Yeah.
Take on C5 first.
Okay.
That's the trick.
That's the best way of doing it. Yeah. Nice touch again.
And that is that's better for white. Okay, I'm getting a bit enthusiastic. So I think Queen E4 is probably a bit. It's a bit too much.
Okay. I might even think white's still better here somehow, but I don't know. For some reason, it's like these kind of positions. If black's playing very actively, but as soon as the activity stops, it kind of like white takes the advantage. So I don't know. It's possible. It's possible here. But okay. Well, hang on a minute. Okay. Can we have a look? A couple more. It's Queen E4.
Okay. It's Queen E4 played.
Yeah, and then Rook E1. Rook takes A4.
Queen E4.
Oh, it's another cow. Everyone's gone absolutely mental today.
Has he played Rook A4?
He's gone Rook takes A4, Knight E6. Everyone's just gone crazy today. And Knight E6, so calm. He wants to go Knight H3 checkmate, I think. It's a swinger.
He's spinning round to H3.
But
just going back. Do you know what? I think Bishop D4 was the move to play here. I think
get rid of that annoying piece.
That cuts out the nonsense, doesn't it?
Yeah, unless we're missing something. I mean, what's wrong with bishop takes d4?
I wonder, this is extremely dangerous.
You've got to try to get these queens off, haven't you, Danny? I mean, like
the Hoover.
Queen d3 or
Are we going to go for the Hoover again?
We've got to go hoovering here. And even my queen can go, I can take on a4, which is not so silly. But I want to play something slightly more aggressive here. Like queen, I don't know. But then you go e4, don't you? Okay, well, what is this tactical master?
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's whip that one off.
Queen takes a4. Okay. Compensation.
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 Compensati.
Compensation.
Compensati.
Okay. What language is that?
I'm not even.
I'm not sure. Okay.
Compensati.
Okay, but maybe White's at least not getting mated here. That's always a good thing.
Yeah, but do you know what? Positionally, actually, Black is sort of doing okay here. I mean, I love it when you have minor pieces on stable squares.
Sure.
It is some kind of compensation.
This reminds me of Kasparov Shirov in the Sicilian Sveshnikov.
Yeah.
Where Kasparov sacked the exchange, but with the white pieces. So it's kind of positional compensation, maybe, but very enterprising play
Hang on,
from Salem. Being attacked by the flies here.
I can't. 96.
But,
yeah, that's the position on the board.
But enterprising, very enterprising.
It is enterprising.
Play.
I mean, I don't. It's not absolutely clear, is it? Well, I think all we can say is it's comp.
Comp, yeah.
But maybe no more than that.
What about? Can we look at the women, maybe, Danny? Because I'm just looking at Natalia and.
Oh yes, that was very exciting.
Very
wasn't it?
interesting.
Okay, so we're going to go to Hamducci against Zhukova. Natalia Zhukova in contention for the women's prize. But she has a tough one today. We left the position around here.
It got very interesting.
Well, Hamducci played this move, bishop e1, which I was kind of going, oh god, I just can't bring myself to play that move. But he did play it.
Queen check. Black's just going forwards. So
f4. Wow. So if queen takes, then knight d5. And okay, now I'm feeling less optimistic.
I turn around for a second and both pieces have gone backwards.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not a good sign, is it? So look at this Ramudo. This is cool. This is a cool move. But is there some way out of this?
So the bishop attacked. I mean, Black a piece up at the moment, but two threats.
Bishop The problem is Black's playing without the knight on h6 now. So this is the problem. Black's actually a piece down because of the knight on h6, in my opinion. So
I think it's gone badly wrong from Natalia here.
You're only attacking with one piece, the rook on b8. It looks like something has gone wrong. It's backfired, this idea.
If we check the clock times, 13 minutes remaining for Hamducci, and Zhukova has 19 minutes. So clearly, well, he did invest a lot of time, but I think it's been worth it because this looks very good.
Definitely.
Okay, let's go to Khotanashvili, who is leading at the moment, top scorer of all the women players. So Khotanashvili, she had white, I think. Let's see. No, she didn't. She had black. She was playing Rachmanov, and that was interesting. Knight a5. Well, it's a positive plan.
c5, very interesting. Wow.
Okay.
That's a really nice idea from Black. I really like that idea. The last couple of moves, really nice. Because now you have b3 and d3 as outposts, so there goes one piece into d3.
Yeah, White's playing around that. Let's see. Right. I mean, this is very, very double-edged. That's the last move, rook d1.
Yeah.
Oops. Sharp position because, are these pieces actually going to be offside?
Sure.
It's hard to say. If the queens were off, I'd be a lot happier. But
who do you think's better here? I mean,
I don't know.
Can I make some exchanges with knight d5? Again, I know I can't go knight d5 because I lose a piece. My apologies, because you take on d5.
Well, I think
on d3.
I think that's the point of playing rook d1. That's very clever, actually.
So this is the point. Yeah, worth pointing out here.
And
Piece.
here, I mean, this also becomes a theme sometimes in the game because just opening up to f7.
And if I can go bishop c2 to b3, but then your bishop finds another good diagonal.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's one diagonal to another diagonal, and this diagonal looks better actually, doesn't it? Because you're really typical.
Looks good.
Yeah. Okay. So Black needs to find a good plan here. You know what? Even if Kotanashvili loses this game, she still actually has very good chances to take the women's prize because all her rivals are actually playing very strong.
Well, we should look at Danielian. Let's have a look. But okay, let's try and find a move before we move on. Let's try and find a move. I quite like to step out of that potential pin actually, or somehow this potential problem. I don't know. I'm looking at a move like King f8. I know that looks a bit bizarre. Maybe it's too much, I'm not sure. But okay, I'd like to find out what White is doing.
Yeah. Okay, so what's White's plan here? Yeah. I mean, it's nearly a d5 move. It's a move I really want to play. Can I play d5? Let's try d5. I'm going for a lot of tactics today. And then Rook takes d3.
Okay.
This is my Queen's
on.
I didn't even see the Queen was on. So
I thought this was all part of the plan. So.
Yeah, all part of the plan. Then I resign. You know, so like yeah.
Okay, well let's just go back. I want about. I wanted to try bishop h4, and then I spotted that d4 is on. That's not too clever.
Yeah.
Not simple.
It's not simple. No, not at all. Actually, King f8 it's a really cool move, isn't it?
Well, it's really. I just want to see what White is up to.
Right, sure. And meanwhile, let's keep an eye on these top two boards. Well, can we go to Geary first?
Okay, I'd actually like to look at Danielian.
Sorry.
So just very quickly to sort of round up what's happening in with the women.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to Danielian very, very quickly. Alina Danielian from Armenia, and she's playing Berkesh from Hungary. Whoa, it's kicking off there. Tough position.
Very hard. Snap judgments. What happens? Bishop on h2, awful piece. Rook on c7, great piece. Knight on g5, great piece.
I mean, certainly looks very playable for White.
Yeah, I mean, it does. Unless there's an f4 move, which I just don't like positionally for White.
Yeah, if we have a look at the standings of the women in the tournament, perhaps we can have a look there. Kotanashvili with 5 points, and she has that very unclear position. Zhukova, we think, is definitely worse now. Danielian, well, just very, very unclear. So it's still wide open, actually. Should we go back to the top two boards?
Yeah, I mean, Geary has played Bishop c6, but first of all, he has not captured on c5, and I think this is a key point because I mean, can we show that nice little idea again?
Sorry, I've got the wrong board up. Just 1 second.
Sure, and there was. I mean, I think this Queen f4 idea is just worth showing because it was really nice. That was it takes here instead of Bishop c6 from Black. Then if you take on c5, this lovely idea that Black, okay, now Knight d7 is a threat, so Bishop c6 looks like it's holding everything together, but now the quite amazing Queen f4 seems to be breaking through on the back rank. You can't take the Queen because Rook d8 is a quite beautiful checkmate actually. So Geary has tried to keep his cool and he hasn't taken on c5, but he's gone Bishop c6 first. I mean, quite a phenomenal position, this one. Quite phenomenal.
I mean, let's try and look at the good news from Black's viewpoint. Bishop c6, as well as covering d7, does sometimes allow the rooks to be exchanged.
I mean, it's phenomenally complicated. There's a couple of moves here that I think are key.
Knight e6?
Knight e6 and Queen f4, I thought both, key
Let's
moves.
start with knight e6.
I thought this, maybe you could take on e6 and go bishop to e8. And
no tricks.
I don't know. I mean, it's a position where, you know, when I say no tricks, there's some knight jump, there's lots of ideas here, there could be a breakthrough.
Actually, you know, White is only the exchange down here.
Yeah.
That's worth saying.
I mean, you can nearly take on e8 and mid the knight somewhere. It's so dangerous for for, I mean, how about knight d? There's so many tactical chances here. I get, again, very interested in positions like this. It looks incredibly dangerous for black. But
the move I'm interested in is actually playing the bishop back to e4 because I want to go to d5. So here, and okay, bishop f7 is the natural response.
Maybe only response, yeah.
But then I can pick back and exchange.
Yeah, sure.
But then again, well, maybe black is I've lost some initiative there. Black is solid enough.
Maybe I kind of feel there should be something stronger in the position. You know, I mean, like even this position, that it just strikes me that there's a. I mean, you can go like. I mean, knight c8 even is very close here, but not quite. I don't think it's quite close enough. But knight c8 is very interesting because you take on g6. Okay, bishop takes a7, but then c2 drops at some point.
And we see again the rook on h2 coming into play. Let's go back. So this position. So we were looking at knight e6, but there are alternatives.
I like queen f4. I think.
Okay.
I like queen f4 here, but again, that's now I can't come into e6. So knight e6 was played. Okay, well, knight e6 has been played, so he's got some kind of idea after this bishop e8 move, and I think honestly, black has to try to rely on bishop to e8. So what's the idea? Let's find the idea, because that is kind of.
I mean, I suppose black has to take. It's not like, well, king g8 is legal, but it looks horrible.
It's barely legal.
Barely legal. A barely legal move because after this. Then this one opens up. I'm not going to bother with that.
Yeah, no, it can't.
So
it
let's
can't
do
be possible. So you have to, and he has taken, and now bishop e8 is forced. I think. I mean, you've got to defend the checkmate on f7.
There's also bishop d8. Oh no,
bishop e8's been played. Bishop e8's been played.
E8, yeah,
and now white needs to have. I would not be surprised if white has a very strong move here. I mean, so far a beautiful play from. But where is the hit now? I mean, I'm looking at. I mean, you know what I'm looking at now? Can I get carried away?
I'm looking at bishop e5. That was, I know, that's my move as well. Okay. Two points.
Yeah.
First thing is we've got to take all these pieces. So after this, rook f1 check. The bishop has to block. Then I think we have to go all in again.
Yeah, well, the only problem with these things is I get this a lot in my games.
We're running out of pieces.
Yeah, I get this so often in chess. I mean, someone's told me I should play shogi because what happens is when you sack a piece, you get that piece back and you can put it back on the board again. I'm sure I'll be much better at shogi than I would be at normal chess.
Bishop f7, I think it's defending.
Not quite working here.
Yeah, I think it's not quite there.
Have
we had a move? No, we haven't.
Okay, there must be some dangerous move.
Kopian only has 10 minutes remaining.
Sometimes you can smell positions. You can just smell them. Sometimes they smell smelly, bad, and sometimes they smell good. This one kind of, I don't know. Can the computer defend this?
I should mention again, we're not actually using a computer.
No, we're not, and that does show occasionally.
Only occasionally.
I mean, so many ideas, but are any of them good? I mean, a knight move. Okay, is there a knight move possible here? I don't know.
Do you know the way Geary is kind of strolling away from the board, and a Kopian, I don't know.
Do you think he's?
This is tough to crack.
It's tough to crack. Yeah, I mean, this is why I know we're just spending a little bit of time in this position, but for me, it's an absolutely fascinating position because it's a key moment. White either has a brilliancy here, or Geary is found some kind of defence. I just feel with the white pieces and the black king, it just feels to me that there is a move for white, but the cold-hearted computer could just say, no, Simon, you'll get far too excited. Have some faith in the computer sometimes. So
listen, we'll let a Kopian try to figure that one out. Yep. Let's cut back to Kramnik, and I think he might be suffering.
Yeah, certainly.
Yu Yang, if he wins this one, he will win the tournament. Let's just go back. It went after f3, queen c6. Kramnik naturally runs from the queen trade.
This Chinese guy's greedy, yeah?
Knight b5, very important, covering the d4 square, well, as well as bringing the knight back into the game, but covers the d4 square. King h8 from Kramnik, and now g3 just shutting it down. What's the score? It is 3 pawns.
Yeah.
White is 3 pawns up. My goodness. Well, earlier on in the tournament, we had the banana variation. We had Niels Grandelius and Robin van Kampen with the 2 bananas at the board. Then we had somebody else, Sam Shankland had an apple.
Yeah.
And now Yu Yang has the 3 water bottle variation, and it seems to be working well for him at the moment. Vlad, clock times. Vlad, 15.5 minutes roughly, glancing at the clock there. Down on time, down on position, Yang Yi. I think, what has Vlad got here?
Not a lot, I'm afraid to say. Not a lot. I think Vlad's sort of playing on tricks now.
Well, let's throw it in. Let me play knight f4. I'm throwing it in.
Okay. Right. So now I first of all I can't take that because of Queen G7.
Queen
It's
G7.
gonna run to mate. So we can't do that one here. And I want to get on E5 maybe.
What about knight c3?
Cool.
Let's keep it simple.
Just keep the pieces around the king. Yeah.
And if knight e2, I'm hoping
this
that is clear enough. So we're going to, and the queen connects with the king side as well. So I think that's winning. So after knight c3, well, we can go the other way, of course, but how exactly does
break through?
The knight just kind of comes back to reality, doesn't it?
You know what? I mean, this position for me reminds me a lot of my own games. You know, from the black side, sometimes I get myself in this kind of situation where I've gone all in with some f pawn attack in the Dutch or something, and I suddenly realise, hang on a minute, I'm not actually doing much here. I've got some vague threats, but I'm not actually doing anything at all. And you know, I'm obviously not comparing Kramnik to me. I'm like a Patzer version of all these guys at the top. But I just don't believe that this attack from Kramnik is working, and it's going to be kind of heartbreaking, I think, even for Kramnik here, because you know it is heartbreaking, this kind of thing. You've played so well for a tournament, and I just think that. I just think this is not working, you know, and I can't see anything working.
We should say that is the position on the board after after g3 from white, and Vlad is basically struggling to find any kind of tricks. His big problem is the king, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. White can always gain a tempo by attacking this king, and of course the material balance. Just to mention, please, I mean, this is the last exciting day of this amazing tournament in Qatar. And we're watching now the fight for first place on board 1, and it looks at the moment like the Chinese are getting on top of this amazingly interesting game on board 2. So we're concentrating these 2 games mainly. They're going to decide the tournament. I'm looking at Salim's game where I say that, and we're going to go to that game in a split second. But please send your tweets, and this is how to get in contact with us, at #Qatar Masters. You send your tweets in, we'll better answer your questions. Look at Salem's game. I'm going to that game.
Okay.
I'm going over to Salem's game because, for me, Salem's been one of the heroes of the tournament. He's played very aggressive, very uncompromising chess. He's gone for his opponents in every game, and he deserves a good finish. And you know what? He's played this amazing, knight e6 move, and he's sacrificed the exchange. Very imaginative idea. The knight trying to come into h3 with checkmate. White has to exchange queens off, but you know what? Black Black is a super aggressive player. I think this is, if Black wins this, you know what? You've got to take your hats off. You really have to, because he's gone queen g4, keeping the queen around the king. You know, all these pieces. White has lost the best defender of his king side, the bishop on g2. This is a really good defender. Black sacrificed the exchange to get rid of this. And here comes Freddy, f5, you know, just like in The Shining. Is it Freddy? I think no, it's not Freddy. Like Nightmare on Elm Street. The f-pawn comes down the board. It's rolling down the board all the way. Okay, king takes g2, and come on, look at this. Look at this.
Do we have some pictures of Salem and Boo? It would be really nice to see if we've got them on the webcam. Let's just see these next 2 games.
Bishop takes f2. Unbelievable. They are. Okay.
There's Boo with his customary green hoodie, and Salem on the right with the blue hoodie. Clock times. Let me just check that out. Oh, Salem is down to 3 minutes 47.
He's like a genuine junkie, isn't he? He loves these positions, but what an idea! He's given up a whole rook, and he's going. Lots of cowboy chess today. You know, these guys are going Wild West style today, and this F4 move is simply he's attacking with a combination of 3 pieces against the lone king, and Freddie the F pawn, Danny. This guy is just ready to blast open the king. It's such brave play. Such brave play.
Well, let's look what happens if the king steps out. So let's say king g2. I mean, first thing, I'm going to play knight g5 here, but the first thing to note is that if black wants, you could actually play f3 here, and after takes...
Draw at least,
this is a draw.
Yeah, I mean, but also...
But we want more.
We want more. I mean, you know,
so
this
knight
guy,
g5.
Salem is not going to go for a draw. This guy... Okay, and now the idea now is f3 check, end of game, and it might be a rook, but you know what? Checkmate is the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, two ideas. I mean, there's f3, but there's also check and then taking on g3 as well, which does the biz.
Sure.
It's
very dangerous.
Yeah, well, I mean, this could be a knockout blow straight away.
I mean, Salem, for me, I mean, he's one of the lower rated players in this tournament. He must be gaining a bunch of rating points, but he's been, for me, the most exciting player. You know, he's played in most of his games. He's played like this. He's happy to sacrifice. He never thinks of draws, and a bit disappointing. I think we had a draw in Shanklin versus Ilyanov. So we've had a couple of quick draws, which I just don't understand. I mean, what are these guys doing? You've got to play like this. You've got to have some cojones, and you've got to play like this. And this is the way to play. Some serious sneezing going on by our production team there. I don't know if they're getting a bit excited. So yeah, it was like Mexican flu apparently. So yeah.
Let's have a little look at this. So King G2 didn't look satisfactory, but I'm just wondering how White deals with this.
Incredibly dangerous.
Okay, here's my next bonkers idea. If I take here,
let's go knight takes f4.
Yeah,
obviously keep the f file open here.
Now,
I mean, White wants to have a check and queen f3, but I don't think this is working ever. You know, you win a queen at least. It's a great game.
Can I play for a draw?
You can try, but
am I just crawling out with a draw?
So I think I've checkmate. Queen takes, queen g5 maybe. Oh no, is this working? Sorry.
King back.
Excited again. Yeah.
Am I escaping with a draw?
Does black even have a draw here? Actually.
Oh. How bizarre.
Actually, sorry, queen takes was rushed. Maybe I should just consider this.
So
one more
let's
moment.
just have a little look. So rook takes, then I run up to e3.
But now I have queen h3 and rook d4 minimum, winning the queen.
Okay, but I might have to take minimum as white, because you know, the other way I was getting mated.
So this way, I mean, I've got a bunch of pawns, haven't I? I should be winning.
You have a lot of pawns. Sorry, that was a mouse slip, of course.
Yeah.
Queen h2, yeah. Black's better, no doubt about it.
Black has 2 extra pawns, and you know, the queen is buzzing around the board like
they're rolling down the board.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I think this is Salem is playing just an amazing game, and really brilliant game. He deserves to finish on a high. We should mention he only has 3 minutes left, and that is tough. But so far, amazing play. Let's go back to Kramnik now, because Kramnik, we have some more moves. He's gone f3, g3. We can see them on the board here. A tweet from Rendell. Vlad today learning that contrary to popular opinion, sometimes it's better to play for a draw when you're playing for a draw. Do
you know what?
That's some cryptic talking from the Rendell.
Do you know, I think Vlad was just kind of playing a normal game, but I think he must have just miscalculated one of these tactics.
Yeah, sure.
And suddenly it's turned around. So after g3, it went queen f7. Okay, he's trying to, you know, latch onto these light squares somehow. You know, try to get in here somewhere. But Yang Yi has simply played rook a1.
It's like a machine. Does he just want to swap everything off?
Well, I mean, if he gets in
Yeah.
rook a7, then it's white that's attacking. So let me try this very basic plan of playing queen f5.
I just go rook a8 and because f3 I'm on. I mean, I've got other moves, but rook a8 is that so silly?
Well, it's the Hoover.
I just want to hoover all the pieces
Yeah.
off. Go queen e4, and it's losing. It's losing to Kramnik. I think we're going to have a win for the young Chinese guy this tournament. I think Yu is going to win this competition. What a result!
Absolutely fantastic.
What a results, yeah. So
Amazing, but very simple, very straightforward play. I like the way that Yang Yi's done it. He's not backing down ever in this. His calculation has been razor sharp so far in this game, and it doesn't look that difficult now at all.
No.
Can we go back to board 2? Akopian against Giri, because Akopian did back his bishop down on this diagonal. Let's have a look. So before we were looking at bishop e4. Now this time he's played bishop d3. What's the difference here? Let me try this move again. Bishop f7.
And apart from knight d7, which is obviously the critical move here, are there any other options for white? Well, I don't see any other options except for knight d7 in this position. Do you, Danny? I mean, it looks like this is a key move here.
Oh,
Can you go
I wanted to try queen d7 actually.
Oh, really?
Well, it's in the spirit of the thing. It's bonkers.
That's in the spirit, yeah.
It's in the spirit. I don't think it's very good. I'm not quite sure what I'm achieving with this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we have another tweet quickly, and someone's also mentioned, it's quite funny, in Giri's loss to Kramnik, we had Giri in that game put his pieces on e7. I think it was e7 actually. No, or was it d7, d8? I think it was e7 and e8. I think so. In the game which he lost against Kramnik, queen d7. Wow, that's a nice idea.
Yeah, but
idea.
I'm not. What am I achieving with this?
I'm not sure what your threat is, but it's a nice idea.
Okay, well let's just see that. So takes, check, and then I take the queen.
Okay, yeah.
What's my threat? That's what I'm trying to work out with white.
Yeah. Well, I guess rook e1 and rook takes e7, but then I get back ranked, checkmated.
It's a bit slow motion.
Slow motion is slow motion, certainly. Well,
I don't know what I'm doing with
look
that
so
move.
believable, does it?
No. It's a bit of fun, but.
I mean, also.
Well, do you know what? After queen, so I beg your pardon. Let's just after queen d7, simply king g8.
Yeah.
Might just duck everything. Yeah. So let's go back.
And if knight d7, can Giri go for max? Oh no, you can't. His queen's on 3.
Okay, but let's just take a look at this again. I mean, there is a slight difference with last time. So last time we were looking at this variation with the. Sorry, I've managed to mess things up. We were looking at this variation with the bishop on e4. In this case, well, he could snag a pawn on a6 with a bit of luck.
Yeah. But then he's just worse, isn't he? So
he is worse, but how easy is it for black actually to unravel here? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
This is still extremely tricky because I mean that bishop is just horrible, and if we can start to I mean this way the e file is open. This is a much better version. But
it's very good defensive work, I think, from Giri. I mean he's I mean, when you get to a position like this, you do have, when your defending position, you suddenly manage to stabilise a little bit. You take a deep breath of relief because you're not going to get checkmated immediately. And as we saw in some of these other amazing variations, there was a serious danger of that.
I'm looking at the clock times. Akopian down to 7 minutes, and Giri has 12 minutes remaining. So, they've got still. That's the position on the board. They've still got 11 moves still to make.
It's not anyway. It's a pity. After bishop f7, can we just check? There's no way that white can try to. Let's say white goes something like queen g4. I mean, just trying to, because my knight does a good job as my queen's okay. I've got rook g1. If I was playing white, I wouldn't like that last position. I've got knight c8. I've got some threats here.
Yeah. I
want to keep my threats lurking.
Okay.
Rather than So I mean, it keeps tension, yeah. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Just But I don't want to liquidate. I don't want to take the exchange.
I mean, if we can force that G pawn up the board, then of course F6 is tender.
And just rook G1, try to go for G7. I mean, these are the kind of positions I love playing still. And
it's true. It's a shame to liquidate. I mean, I think Knight D7 was certainly better than the other one, but this it is a pity to sort of free. When these pieces are sort of split across the board, and Queen G4.
We can always go to Knight D7 if need be, but I just want to try to keep some pressure on. Even Rook E1 and Knight D7 improves, so I like this.
So if I play, let's say, King G8, then Rook G1,
Rook G1 now.
And Bishop F8 could be met by Bishop F6 on a good day.
Well, it's interesting.
Let's have a look.
You take on G1 maybe.
I mean,
defend.
This is
Queen
crazy.
G1 and take on. Oh no, then the Rook drops.
The Rook drops.
They're both on pre. I didn't even realise that they're both on pre.
We better take that one.
And White's doing well here. Is he? I don't know. Maybe. Probably.
Well, White's better.
White's better. Yeah. Okay. Sure. But I like Queen G4.
Queen G4 is really interesting.
It's nice.
But we should say Geary is still thinking in this position after Bishop D3. Can we cut to Kramnik? Because I think, do you know what? We could be reaching the denouement in that game. Let's go to Kramnik. Yu Yang just looking like he's playing the move so quickly now. Looks completely winning. It's gone after Rook A1, Knight G5.
Is Kramnik smiling?
Rook
I don't know.
A8.
Is he sort of? I think Kramnik realises he's lost. Look at the body language. I don't know if he's having a wry smile, because it's not. I mean, okay, it's been a bad day for Kramnik today. And
Kramnik's still 11 moves to make, and he's got 3 minutes. He's completely lost.
Well, it's sad because this has happened to all of us, and it's one of the most heart-wrenching things, even for someone like Kramnik who's been world champion. You play a great tournament, you get to the last round, and you lose the last tournament, the last round, and it's going to be upsetting for him. But I don't think this could be over any second, in my opinion.
The vultures are crowding around the board. I think everyone senses blood is about to be spilled on the board.
And I think just by the facial expressions of
I think he can resign. I think it's
waiting for it. I think we're waiting for resignations here, and I think you realises this as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see the reaction from you, because if he wins this, he wins the tournament outright, which is a phenomenal result as well. For 20 years old, I mean, I was just thinking what I was doing at 20. I wasn't beating ex-world champions.
Vlad has played, I think, Queen E7. We're just waiting for that to appear on the board. Yeah, he has played Queen E7.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that has to do with the price of tea in China, to be honest.
Probably not much, no.
No. It doesn't.
What is the price of tea in China at the moment?
I mean, doesn't seem to change.
We can ask you when he comes in. Hopefully we will get the winner of the tournament to join us. Okay, well, Yu's playing very quickly, H4. He doesn't even think about this.
Wow.
He just, he's actually, he realises he's winning. He's a confident player, yeah?
I mean, you're not kidding. Okay, he just wants to take the pawn on F3.
It's simple
unbelievable.
play.
Yeah, but the speed he played that.
Yeah. Kramnik only 2 minutes left. And
but I think someone should tell you've got 15 minutes left. Just slow down, mate.
Yeah. Okay. Knight H3 check. I mean, that knight's not going far, is it? The king can go to a number of good squares. F1. Well, only one good square really. F1 and now. Okay, unless Vlad's had something big here, that knight is now completely trapped. What on earth is he up to? Well, I mean, it's even a funny line. Queen takes b4, queen f6 check. I'm just going to show how bad this position is.
Boom.
Just little tactics like this. It doesn't work, It doesn't work. This is going to be a victory on board one for the 20-year-old player from China. 20 years old, and he's going to have a performance rating over 2,900 at least. I mean, I don't know how high his performance rating is going to be, but it's simply going to be phenomenally high. So, incredibly impressive tournament. He beat Geary in the last round, and he's won today. I mean, that's simply phenomenal tournament. Okay, we have another move, E4. I think this
E4.
Well, he's when the chips are down, you've got to.
So Kramnik's idea is, Oh, well, what is his idea? Because after this... Oh, that's very tricky. He plays rook A8.
Yeah.
So if queen takes, then there's something on the back
Some
rank.
tricks, but even that doesn't work.
And
so
if...
I just take on A8, take on F3, game over. And rook takes A8, queen takes F8.
Here.
In that last variation, queen takes E4.
Well, you can do this.
Take on A8.
Well, actually, you can do both because you can play.
Okay.
You can take on E7 and rook A1. You can play queen E1. So not even the tricks work. And if Kramnik's resigned, it's over. Yu Yangyi wins the tournament. This is a sensational result. Hopefully, we're going to get him here in the commentary room. Incredible. He snuck through. He's going to win this. He's the sole winner of this tournament with 7.5 out of 9. Shocking.
Yeah, very shocking. And
just to get the update, the game did finish. Queen takes E4. That's the final position on the board.
He's got out of there quickly, hasn't he? So he's got out of there very.
I feel very sorry for Kramnik.
Yeah, I do as well. I mean, obviously, great result by the young Chinese player, and he is champion of Qatar, the first Qatar 2014. You know, you do feel for Kramnik. He's played a great tournament, and he's lost this last round. So you got to. So we are going to try to get the champion to join us.
I'm not sure. I don't know how good Yu Yangyi's English is.
Yeah, it'd be nice to congratulate him. At least,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I'm very quickly just going to leave you here for a second, Danny. If that's
do
all right.
that. I'm going to go back and have a look at the board 2 game between Akopian and Giri. But they're still fighting for a whole lot of lolly. So here we go. Akopian Giri. What did Akopian play? Now, we were thinking after bishop d3. Now, Giri did not play bishop f7. He's played instead rook c7. I suppose that's directed against bishop c4. If that comes, then the rook would hack off the bishop very, very quickly. So instead, Akopian has played rook e1, looking at the bishop on e7. So now that kind of reinstates the threat of bishop c4. So queen d8 from Giri, lending a little more protection to the bishop on e7. Clock time, 7 minutes 40 for Giri, 5 minutes for Akopian. Whew, dearie me, I've just got to calm down after that game. Extraordinary. I can barely see what's going on. We've got one more move, knight d5. The knight spins in. This is really hotting up. And we've been joined, we will come back to the game, but we've been joined by Yu Yangyi, the winner of the tournament. If you'd like to take a seat and we can go through your game. Let's cut back to that game. So we will rejoin that board 2 game in a second, but I just want to get Yu Yangyi against Kramnik on the board. There we are. So I've been joined by Yu Yangyi. Many congratulations. That was an absolutely fantastic performance. Before the start of today, were you hoping to press very hard? What was your attitude going into this game today? What were you feeling?
I'm feeling happy, very, very happy.
Very happy before the or now or before the game?
Yeah.
Before the game, what did you think? You had a chance before the game?
I think. I'm sorry.
Congratulations, by the way.
Before the game, did you think you had a good chance
Yeah.
today?
No good chance.
No.
Yeah.
You thought you were just going to play and see what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it went very well. Do you want to talk us through the game a little bit? Probably this opening was not a surprise.
No surprise.
No. And have you played in this way before? This system, you've played this before? Have you played it already?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
So you're comfortable with this? So maybe you can point out the moment where you thought things started to go your way.
Yeah.
Knight g5 I
don't know.
like.
Bishop b6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know bishop e7. Yes.
To cover g5. Oh, sorry, just 1 second. Okay, so bishop g7,
Yeah.
and this
Knight.
covers the g5 square.
Yeah, knight.
And now what? Knight a5.
Yeah.
Yep.
With the b8.
Have you played this before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Bishop d2.
And do you want to take the mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know this position. Queen e2.
Okay, but let's see the game. Let's see the game. Queen h5. We like this move a lot.
Yeah.
It's a nice move.
I don't know.
No, it looks very interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
I like it because suddenly you always have something on the king side, a little something.
Yes.
Were you surprised by b5? b5 this looks a little strange to me. We thought maybe instead of b5, maybe bishop f8. No, or even bishop f8 to g7.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Again, f5. This is.
I think bishop.
Oh, you think this is best?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know.
And now rook a5. What happens? And f4. And just to play
Yeah.
f3.
Yes. F3. Queen is. Yes. I think queen draw.
Oh, right. Possibly a draw.
Yes.
You think this is your best? Okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Did Vladimir mention this after the game?
Yeah. I don't know why. F.
Okay, so bishop takes knight is still all right there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. But now all the tactics work for you. But here, maybe instead of queen d6, in this position, maybe f3?
F3.
What happens? And now queen d5?
Queen d5, queen b3.
Right, and this endgame?
Yeah, and again. Maybe.
Well, of course, white is better, but
maybe better. A little better.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this is probably still playable for black. After we should explain this. Queen takes queen, and takes.
Take.
Obviously, white is better,
Yeah.
but black has some drawing chances.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you expect this,
Yeah.
or what did you? Do you think this is black's best in this position?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Queen d.
This is a big mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my opponent in 94.
He missed this. He must
Yeah.
have missed this
Yeah.
move. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Fantastic. But after rook a7, now I think you're winning.
Yeah, maybe position f3.
Oh, here
think, yeah.
instead of taking. Okay.
I don't know.
Let me see. What do you play? Oh yeah. If you take your hand away from your mouth, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. But if you take your hand away from the mouth, then we can hear you better. Okay. But now he's lost, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Must be lost.
Yeah. Maybe.
Okay, how many pawns? Okay, it's still lots of pawns, isn't it?
Yes. I think this position, white winning.
Now white is definitely winning, yeah. So basically, Vladimir missed a couple of chances to keep in the game,
Yeah.
it seems, yeah.
Yes.
But all right, do you know what? You played so quickly as well.
Yeah.
You played without nerves. Or were you nervous, or what did you think in the game? Were you worried at all? But you seemed to play very quickly. What's your favourite game from this tournament that you played, apart from today?
Of course.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
But your game yesterday, well, you've beaten the 2 top seeds. You beat Kramnik today.
Yeah.
You beat Geary yesterday.
Yes.
This is a fantastic achievement.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe, I mean, what a year you're having. You in Tromsø, in the Olympiad.
Yeah.
You scored the gold medal, yes?
Yeah.
And what was it, 8.5 out of 10, or did you score more than that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So, what have you done to this year? Have you been training a lot, or how come you've made a big breakthrough this year? Big success this year. So, what have you done? Worked hard? Were you working hard?
Yeah,
Don't worry.
Sorry, I'm English no good.
No, it's interesting. So in Millionaire Chess, you had 5.5 out of 7. That's also a good result, actually. Vikonze, okay, in the Vikonze, not so good. Yeah. But you play a lot in China as well. Yeah. And do you train with anyone in particular? Do you have a trainer in China? Who is your trainer? Or do you work with other players? Yeah. Okay, it's difficult. Are you a professional chess player? Do you play chess professionally, or are you studying a subject at university?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you studying as well at university? What do you study at university?
University to Beijing.
Ah, you're at Beijing at university there. Yeah.
Yes.
And what do you study? A science, a mathematics, or? It's difficult.
Yeah.
But what are you studying? Mathematics or something else in Beijing? Tricky. Okay, listen. It's tough. You've had a really tough game, and I'm throwing loads of questions at you. It's very, very difficult. But I just want to say many congratulations. It's a brilliant achievement. And where are you playing next? What is your next tournament?
My next tournament, Chinese League.
Chinese League?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
And is that very soon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you playing in Beijing Accord
No.
tournament? No, not this one.
Yeah.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Well, listen, fantastic. Once again, many congratulations, and absolutely brilliant achievement. So listen, go and relax. Well done. Poor guy, I was bombarding him with questions.
Lots of questions, but an amazing result. I mean, absolutely amazing result. Obviously difficult when English is not so good, and we take it for granted that everyone speaks our language, which of course is not true and not fair. But all we can say is chess shows more than anything else. What it does on the board, universal language chess, and that's the most important thing. And he proved on the board, well-deserved winner, beat the 2 top seeds, has a brilliant tournament, and complete congratulations to him. I mean, a brilliant result. So
we need to get an update on the board 2 game, Akopian against Geary. Let's go straight there, because it is all kicking off and they're running really short of time. Akopian has 1 minute and 14 seconds remaining. Let's see how they got there.
Yeah.
After bishop d3, rook c7 was played, so covering c4, didn't play bishop f7, knight d5. So I'm just going to zip through these next 4 moves to get the position on the board. That knight spinning around, looking at the white squares. And now we've got rook h6, and the queen has gone back to g2. Well, on the surface of it, I would say Geary's position has improved. Got rid of that dangerous knight. He seems to have some kind of coordination now. Here, this is a lot better than it was. We can see the players there. We've got one more move. We've got bishop d6. I think Geary is crawling out of this one.
very good defensive play, I think, from Geary. You know, I think he's kind of consolidated, hasn't he? It looks to me like he's done a very good job here.
I think he wants to shuffle the rook over to e7.
Yeah, and just swap off pieces. So,
but it ain't over till it's over. That's two bishops.
Yeah.
Do we play rook g1?
We can try rook g1.
That's the move I'd like to.
Hoping for rook e7, but well, even rook e7 is okay. Yeah, not much there. Yeah. So. Yeah. I think Geary's done a great defensive job here. I mean, he's really up against it, but it was tough, you know. So really tough for him. But he's really fought hard, and he's got a. That was a really tricky interview for you. I feel for you there. I didn't mean to leave you there. I actually was desperate to. I didn't realise it was coming in that thing. You've got a really hard job there, Danny.
No, I felt really sorry for him actually, because his English isn't great, and he's just had this really stressful game. But somebody is saying, who is this guy? I should say, Yu Yangyi has burst through onto the scene this year. He was part of the Chinese team at the Olympiad in Tromsø, where Chinese team of course won the gold medals, and Yu Yangyi was just a key player in that team. He scored 8.5 out of 10 on board 3, and I mean his results were just phenomenal. I mean, just really, really powerful player.
And we look at his rating, but he's gained 30, I think 31. I don't know if it's just from this tournament, but his new rating at the moment, his current ELO rating is 27.05, placing him 46 in the world ranking. But now he's zoomed up from 46th place to world number 18 with a live rating of 27.36. So he's certainly one of the many strong Chinese young players to watch. And you know what? He's 20 years old, Danny.
Yeah.
20 years old. So, and he goes to university as well.
I know. That's a bit frightening.
What else does this guy do? I mean, like you can't be that strong and study at Beijing University. I mean, phenomenal. Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal. So
I think in the West, I think there are certain players that we know very, very, very well, like Geary.
Yeah.
These guys don't come out of nowhere. There's a lot of chess being played in China. Rook G1 played, by the way, in this game.
Yeah.
I think Yu Yangyi might be back, and this time maybe with an interpreter.
Okay.
I don't know. No, we won't force him to come in again.
But an amazing result anyway. So.
I think we do have an interpreter. Yeah, are they ready?
We'll try again.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was.
Do you want to go again, Danny, or it's up to you?
I'll give it another go.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go in.
Okay. Right. So.
Yeah.
Good.
So for all those watching who aren't that familiar with Yu Yangyi, we've got him coming soon. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. Sorry, we haven't. Yeah.
So we're going to get Yu Yangyi back, and this time with an interpreter. And this actually, our interpreter is the father of a player in the tournament, Wonder Liang, the young American player who's playing in the tournament. So let's have another go. Yes, sorry, I'm going to move across. So hopefully we can squeeze everyone in. No? Yeah, sorry, I've got to squeeze in a bit more. Yeah, to get everyone in on the camera. Okay, I think we're there. So fantastic. So once again, I should say congratulations to Yu Yangyi. Yeah. So I just wanted to ask about the game first of all. So were you optimistic going into this game? Were you playing all out for a win? What did you think?
你那个比赛之前，你有没有想到你会赢？你有没有感到很乐观？你的当时心里是怎么想的？
我不是很乐观，因为看他们那个的布局非常的好，所以说我就抱着正常下的这个想法，就是正常下国际象棋，没过多的想法。
Right.
有机会就赢。
He said he was not optimistic going to the game at all. The Colombia is such a player with this kind of caliber. But he said that give it the best shot. They just play like a normal game.
And I mean, your results in the Chess Olympiad was phenomenal. Did that result give you a lot of confidence going into this tournament?
这个你在那个chess Olympic 那里面写得非常好，
对，
有没有给你这个来这里的话很大的信心，很大的鼓舞？
对，有的，肯定是有的。
Yes, I feel confident coming to the tournament.
I was there in Norway, and I noticed there is a fantastic team spirit in the Chinese team. It was evident. Do you work a lot together?
他当时在 Olympic 他就在挪威看到你们之间这个队员之间非常团结，这个团队的精神非常好。
对，
他就感到这个非常好的事情。他说问你们是不是在一起学习啊，一起这个研究这个企业，一起
对，我们平时也是在中国棋院，然后都在一起，所以说都很熟。有时候也会，不能说经常一起下，反正就是说一起研究，反正就是经常会聊，反正都很熟。对，所以说非常团结。
而且we are teammates. We are all members of the International Chess Academy in China. So we know each other very well, and then we do study together, and we discuss outside of our study from time to time too. So we know each other very well. We support each other.
Yeah, no, it's very clear. And do you have a trainer? A specific trainer?
专门的教练吗？
现在我们在棋院一般都是靠自己自觉，或者跟队友、教练平时很少指导我们，因为他们比较忙。
Right. So we, for the most part, we study on our own, and then we discuss among our team members. And right. The trainers sometimes give us some advice, but not on a very daily basis.
Okay, I mean you've had fantastic results this year. I was amazed that you said you're not a professional, you're actually studying at university. I mean, how is it possible to combine studying and playing? And by the way, what do you study at university?
他说你这个今年以来这个成绩啊，是令人不可思议的。但是呢，你就说你不是一个专业的棋手，你同时读书，你同时对呀，又同时又读书，你又棋又下得这么好，你是怎么做到这一点的？另外的话，你在学校里去学它什么东西？在大学里面？
对，我确实上大学，但我一般如果出去比赛的话，也不上。然后我上课比较松，还是我上的是北京首都体育学院，然后平时学的专业，然后是竞技体育。相对而言，主要是对于我们那个体育运动员，所以说如果上像中国更好的大学，可能花的时间更多，所以说我那个大学就是说在就是更多的时间可以投入在棋上。我投入棋的时间很多，对，挺专业的。
Right. I should clarify. I'm a professional chess player. Of course, at the same time, I'm a college student. I study at Beijing Physical Education College. And the school is really supportive to our chess career, and they give us flexible curriculums. So when we go to tournaments, we do not have to worry about our studies, and when we come back and then work on studies.
I understand that.
He said he studied sports economics.
Sports and economics. Yeah. Okay, that helps. But still, that's still a big achievement.
Why?
Well, obviously there's the
还是一个非常大的成就。
Big achievement. Yeah. Obviously, Chinese team won the gold medals at the Olympiad, but also there is Ho Yifan, who is the women's world champion. It seems like China is going up and up. So what about a Chinese men's world champion, overall world champion?
这个中国这个国际象棋啊，这个上升得很快。你们这个男队呢，就拿到这个 Olympic 的团体冠军，郝玉凡就拿到女子那个单元的冠军，还有以前的那个女子冠军。他说，在这个基础上，你们有没有想到要把这个男子的世界冠军拿到手？
我们教练肯定是希望拿的，但是对于我们运动员来说，尽量努力吧，就经常下棋。毕竟我觉得还是跟他们顶级的那些世界一流棋手还是有一定差距的，慢慢来吧。
He said everybody has expectation for us to win it someday. Our coach, our team members, and all the friends and the fans in China, but we still have a distance between us and then the top elite chess players in the world.
There's a distance between.
Yeah, the distance between us and them, and we only can strive for the goal for now.
Okay, but you're only 20 years old, very very young. Do you think you have a chance?
你说你只有20岁，你还
How
非
far
常
can you
年
go?
轻，你想到你这个有这个很大的机会吗？
现在还真没有这样的问题。
I'm not thinking about it now.
Okay, fantastic. And I think you said your next chess game is going to be in the Chinese league. But what about your next big tournament game?
你说你这个下面要下到就是有中国这个俱乐部的钱，但是你下面那个大的那个锦标赛在什么地方？
大的比赛，
大的比赛
算大的，可能荷兰有个格罗宁根12月份，然后最大的可能是直布罗陀。
Okay, probably the next one would be Gilbert.
In Cuba?
Yeah, no, the Gilbert, the one in Spain, the rock, the bigger rock there too.
Oh.
Gilberta, right?
Cordoba?
No. Gilberta, the bigger rock.
I'm not sure.
That island next to Spain, remember?
Which island next to
Gilbert.
Spain?
Yeah.
Oh, Gibraltar.
Gibraltar.
Oh no, it's not an island.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, and you're playing in Gibraltar.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
then,
Yeah.
He said I'm probably going to play in a tournament in Netherlands too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay, so lots more coming. Listen, are you going to come back and defend your title in 2015?
在明年你
To Qatar.
你会回来那个保你的冠军呢？想好吗？
看时间吧，我明年肯定要把英语要好好学，这个是重点。
Right, it all depends, but we need to work on the study, including our English.
Okay. Well, listen, once again, many congratulations. It's absolutely brilliant achievement. So thank you very much for coming by again, and thank you for helping out.
Right. It's a pleasure.
Okay, well, let's go back and have a look at the game on board 2, Vladimir Akopian and Anish Giri. We've had big developments there. I'm sorry we missed some of the moves going up to the time control, but it's all kicking off. We left the game around here, and it went rook g1, rook h4. Akopian has gone all in completely. He's ditched another piece to break through on g7, and that's the position on the board after 40 moves. Does he have enough for his rook? I somehow doubt it, but who knows? Bishop f5, is that a move? No, it's not a move. Bishop f5 is not a move because the back rank is weak. Bishop f5 allows a back rank hit, and the problem is if you just start checking randomly, then the king just ducks out to the other side of the board. So, am I overlooking something here, Simon? Have I?
Right idea. I don't know. I can't see it, to be honest. I mean,
Has it gone? I think it might have gone.
I mean, a problem here as well. I mean, you don't have time to set anything up. So, you know, of course, you can't play Bishop f5, which is a move you want to play.
So rook takes d3 is on the cards, isn't it? This is the problem.
And it looks to me, I think Giri's going to win this one. So, you know, Giri's had a great tournament. This is a very exciting game, though. I mean, I really like the way that Vladimir, with the white pieces, came at Giri. It backfired, you know. It's one of those situations that does backfire, but it was still a very, very exciting game. But I don't see it now. I don't see how it's going to happen now. So predicting a win for Giri there. It might be over quite soon, that game, to be honest. Keep you up to date with some of the other results. We've had a couple of draws like Samuel Shanklin we mentioned against Ilyanov. Now Salim actually drew that position, and we saw the end of this game, but just to remind you guys how that game finished, that's between Bu and Salim. So not that one, excuse me. So let me just find the board and try again. Okay, well, it did actually end with this draw that we mentioned. King G2 was played. Now, we're wondering here about the move knight to G5. That looked like an interesting possibility, but I'm assuming, obviously, that there was some defensive idea there. In the end, I mean, okay, Black finishes with a very good tournament. He's had a great tournament.
So let's just
F3,
see how it ended.
So, yeah, and it finished with a perpetual check on F2 and F3. So well fought draw and a very exciting game.
I'm just curious to see what happened on what happens on knight G5. What are we overlooking? We're obviously overlooking something.
I mean, I think White has a check at some point. It's going to help him. So.
Queen B3 will cover. I see. Queen B3 covers G3, so that way there's no Queen H3 and mate, and then probably Rook F1, just to cover F3.
I mean, even
and
here,
Queen E2. Oh, I've got to be careful.
E2, yeah.
Queen E4 check. Oh, wait a second. Okay, maybe I need to be a little bit more careful there.
Yeah.
Rook C3. That I imagine that might do the trick for White. That is
still a very dangerous position. I mean, you can even go E4 here.
It is a rook, though.
It's a rook, yeah. Okay, I mean, I think Salem can be very happy. He's had a great tournament. This is a good way to finish. He's drawn with Black against a highly rated player. He's entertained us the whole tournament. So, we should also give Salem a big thank you, because he's been one of the most interesting players, clearly, in this tournament.
Let's go to board 3, because we haven't looked at that for yonks. And this was this game where Maxime Vachier-Lagrave had a very slight advantage out of the opening, but it seemed to me that Yefimenko was basically playing for a draw, set up a solid position. I'll just find the game. There we go. And they've arrived. Well, okay. Vachier-Lagrave did manage to get in his queenside pawn majority, and he's won a pawn. Can he make anything of it? That bishop is very poorly placed on the sort of the wrong side of the pawn.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with these endings, I think it's worth pointing out, when you've got opposite colour bishop endings, if you're trying to win opposite colour bishop ending, which clearly Maxime is because he's a pawn up, it's great to try to have your opponent's pawns fixed on the same kind of square as your bishop. So Maxime has the light square bishop. Most of Black's pawns over here are fixed on light squares. So that's a really good thing to have, because at some point you can try to target them. Not so easy.
I've had almost this exact endgame, but with colours reversed. And guess what? From a Najdorf.
Right.
Typically, I managed to get into an endgame and shoved my kingside pawn majority up. And I actually managed to win it, and it was probably a simpler version in the game that I had for Black. This is a more difficult one because the bishop is the wrong side. This is actually, although there's still bishops of opposite colour, this is actually very difficult for Black.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, you always have to watch out for F5. I mean, if I was White here, I might even be playing G5, bishop C8.
That's what I did in this game. I played this one forward.
Yeah.
I also managed to advance the H pawn, and I got the H pawn here, and then I played H5. And this is not simple. I wonder whether Black should actually play, well, let me see, probably F6 first. Either H6 or F6. I think it's important to stop G5, actually. Now, maybe this is still a draw, but, okay, what happens if I try and attack the pawns at the other side of the board?
It's very tough.
G5, this might still be a draw, but no, that's not simple. Okay, here's an illustration. If I take, and then the king comes in, and then suddenly I'm going for the H pawn. So Black has to be really careful here. I think we need to get in, we need to bring the bishop back to life. Then I bring the bishop to G8, H6, bishop H7, G5. Don't know. Still touch and go. H4. Let's try that one.
Yeah. Sure.
I think this bishop does need to get back into the fray, though. The bishop on C3. Bishop H. Bishop E1. And then, you know, you could go for a position like this. Get the two central passes, probably good. This is tough. The bishop is the wrong side. I think Maxime definitely has decent chances here.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen his endgame technique as well in the past, and Maxime's endgame technique has been really, really impressive. So I'm sure he's going to make this as difficult as he can, and he does have great winning chances. So yeah, but of course, opposite card of bishops always going to be drawing chances.
I wonder, should we take a short break, and maybe when we come back we'll see how the standings are with the women, but we've reached the time control, so I think it's kind of time to take a little breather, and we're back in just a few minutes.